Great game. I thought our guys played well. We didn't execute the small things that we planned on. Credit to Mississippi State. Started the game on an 8-1 run, but obviously finished the first half and the beginning of the second half on a 19-5 run. I think that put our back against the wall, that time frame, first 3 minutes, and then obviously the middle of the game, first 4 minutes of the first half, the second half, and then obviously the last 2 minutes of the first. Ultimately, our assist to turnover ratio was in a negative. I thought if we would have adjusted the way we should have to the physicality, meaning execute at the free throw line, win a free throw game, but also being able to get to the basket and get more points in the paint. I don't think we did that enough. But it was still situations where we could have had it to a one possession game, and I don't think we executed on the free throw line. We went, I want to say 4 for 8 or 2 for 6 from the free throw line in that span. That could have put it to one possession. We never had to lead this game. So we had ties, but not having the lead is definitely something we could have adjusted to and did more of. So we didn't have those possessions to put us over the hump.
All right, we have questions then for Coach Gates and for Nick Honor.
Was there did you identify a root cause of some of the shooting issues, or was it just shot?
No, I don't look at it as shooting issues. I think it was a very physical game, and I don't think the free throw count for both teams, it should have been 30 free throws plus for both teams tonight, without a doubt, in my mind. But physically, our game was lower. The free throw count was lower. I thought there were situations that we should have gotten to the paint that we settled. I think one of them was Ashani's jump shot, but also several of those jump shots we could have drawn fouls, but because we wasn't, we just ended up taking those shots, which were shots we've normally made.
Hey, Dennis, your rotations looked a little different tonight. Sean started and didn't play. Aiden, Caleb was out there a little bit more. Did you feel like this was a game where you needed to change things up, or was it more kind of just how the game broke down?
Yeah, I knew what type of game it would be. So in preparation, I thought those guys would be prepared to do certain things. And obviously the outcome didn't give us that, but I did see some positives inside the game. Ultimately we got to take care of the ball. And if you look throughout the game, all of our primary ball handlers had turnovers. The ones that didn't was Kobe, Noah, and Demoy. We can't play games like that, right? We are a team that has positive assist to turnover ratio. I would rather have those 5 possessions back, and it's a completely different game if we just have 5 possessions and an even assist to turnover ratio. But ultimately, the rotations, I wanted to go with Sean because I knew ultimately what they would do, and that was try to stop us. I wanted more penetration, and Sean gave us that.
Nick, talking about the negative assist to turnover ratio, what do you feel like it was about Mississippi State's defense that made it a little bit more challenging for y'all tonight?
I think it was just mental mistakes for us, really. We knew it was going to be physical coming in here, but we got to just focus on what we can focus on. You know what I'm saying? So a couple calls might not go our way, but it's an SEC road game, so we know how it is. But just mental mistakes. I think someone will just look at tomorrow and fix.
Dennis, what did Colo Smith do well for them tonight?
Finished through contact. I thought he finished through contact well, drew fouls. I think the first 5 minutes of the game, he had 8 free throw attempts at that moment. And, he was 3 for 4 from the field as well. But draw contact, I think he does a great job of sealing and getting position. I think he's one of the top post players in the country. He doesn't get credit for it because obviously, in our conference, you got Colin Castleton, Tashib Way. But when it comes down to centers, he's one of the best in the country, I think.
Is he a type that's always going to cause you some sort of issues given just some of the lack of height?
No, I think being able to draw fouls is where he was elite. He's going to get his baskets just here and there. But when you give him both, that's where any team, give him both. That's where he's successful and he does a good job. He ended the game with 25 and 12. I thought we did a good job, obviously, with the fronting the posts and different things like that. You have to look at how he was able to get them. Most of them was botched plays or just drop-offs in terms of baskets that he received.
Dennis, with 4 road losses now, just what's kind of the main thing? I mean, you've praised your home fans a lot. Just how do you get that momentum rolling on the road?
You know, ultimately, when you look at road games, you have to look at, you know, who we've played. I think when you look at Texas A&M, right, Florida, you look at even tonight, being able to play here tonight, and then the last one, Arkansas. Those are big time teams. Those are NCAA tournament teams in my eyes. And I think ultimately our guys played well, but not well enough. We just didn't play well enough and play a complete 40 minutes. So we have to get to the drawing board to execute. We've played on the road. We won games on the road. So I'm not looking at it from that perspective. I just think ultimately to be able to completely change a season, you have to be able to do both. And ultimately right now we're being able to do some things at home, but we have to be able to execute on the road too.
Coach, obviously, no Aiden Shaw tonight. I was curious if he was available, and then also what you thought about the minutes Memorial Majak got.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much I thought this game was not in terms of what was presented to me. I thought Mabor was going to be able to give us minutes, which was some positive minutes he gave us. I wish I could have played him more. But again, it's one of those things where even with Aiden Shaw on the court, this game I played Kobe Brown more at the 4 than at the 5. I think when we went small and he was able to get some touches is where offensively, but defensively, I wanted to make sure Mo's minutes, because he was doing a great job rebounding. You know, this is another game where he finished with double-digit rebounds. That's great. So that's what I wanted to look at, him and Mo, and doing that. So that's where the minutes ate up for Aiden Shaw.
You know, Nick, it seemed in that second half, when y'all went to the 4-guard lineup, y'all started picking up a little bit of steam on offense. I was wondering what you saw change with the team with those things there.
I think it was just our energy. We reevaluated at the halftime, and then I think we pushed the ball a lot more in the second half. I just don't think that like this game was a real representation of us. It was in some ways not. But I mean, it's kind of like we said about putting together a full game. But to answer your question, we just reevaluated at halftime, and then you know, you knock down a couple shots, get excited, so it leads spills over to the defensive end. Then you get some steals, and then it kind of just keeps going from there. So,
Dennis, you mentioned that stretch kind of struggling from the line. How do you go about sort of fixing that for the next go around? It seemed like a sort of difficult thing to simulate in practice.
We had the right guys shooting the free throws. Demoy Hodge, Kobe Brown. They shot free throws, and you know, I wouldn't do anything different. I think those guys have shown over a period of time to be able to knock down free throws in their own right. They just didn't fall tonight, so I can't say we need to do anything different. I wish we could draw more fouls. I thought Dre Golston left 2 free throws on the board. Demoy left 2, and Kobe left 2. To be able to win on the road, you have to have over close to 90% free throw shooting percentage. But also you got to win the free throw numbers.